So guys, today we're going to look at the local time. In our previous lecture we looked at local date, and if you are careful observer, you'll realize that the way you create instances of local time is pretty much the same. Like almost everything is the same. Except for some parameters, obviously they will differ. So the first demonstration I want to show you guys is how to create a local time using an instance of local date time, which we will present just shortly after the local time. So here we have an instance of local time, and we are passing that instance to of local date time. We have an instance of local date time. We are passing it to local time, and we actually create local time using that instance. So I'm just gonna run this code so you can see what will be printed on the screen. So you see that for local time we have everything until here, which actually, for local date time it shows date and time, and for local time we only have the time part. So from here 1652 to here, it's actually the time that we are displaying here. And as you can see, the values are exactly the same, reason being that we are using the one instance to actually get the time from it. So if I had said now here, we obviously gonna get different results, slightly different result. As you can see here, it's 301897, but here it's 30 blah blah blah. But hours and then minutes and seconds, they're the same. What is different? It's nanoseconds. So guys, you saw how you can create time, local time, from local date time. We just pause it here. And we can also create time just by calling the now function, as we saw. So if we call the now function, it will give us the time now as of my system time. Like it will give me my system time. So if I run this code, as you can see, I get my system time. It's 4:53:2, as you can see here. And also I can actually pass time a zone. So we know that if you call now without parameters, it will use a default zone for you, just like we saw with the previous local date instance creation, that it does use default zone if you don't pass a parameter. Or you can decide to pass your own zone. So if we say zone id dot system default, it will get the default zone of your computer. So I can just print this. It will basically give me the same time that is reflected on my computer, as you can see. Or I can give my own zone as opposed to the default zone. So as you can see here, the zone is America, Argentina, and all that. This is a legitimate zone listed in the Java API. So if I print this, it will give me a different time, provided this zone has different time than the current zone I'm running in, which is here in Africa, Johannesburg. So if I run this code with local time 2, which is basically this zone, I'm expecting the time here to be different from my current time. because zones can have different times, or they can have same times with slightly different values. So let me just run this code. As you can see, that means at this time, at this place or this zone, this is the time. So let's see what's the time in Tokyo. So if we want to see what's the time now in Tokyo, I'm just gonna run this code again to get what is the time now in Tokyo. You see, it is actually almost 12 midnight in Tokyo at the moment. Then we can specify Africa, Johannesburg. So since this is my own time zone, I'm expecting the date to be the same as my current time on the computer, which is 16:56. And I run this code. Okay, it's 16:57 now. You see, it's the same time that you see on my laptop because the zone is the zone I'm in. Or you can actually create the time instance using the instance method, where you specify hour and minute. So I can say time 3. It will give me this time here. Let's just run it and see what value we get. You see, it gives me 2:04 as I have specified it here. And then we have the one where you pass hour, minutes, and seconds. Let's run it so you can see how it looks like as well. As you can see, 0, 3, which is here. Then you can also provide nanoseconds as well. Just number 5, I'm just going to run it as well, so you can see how they differ. As you can see, this is how it displays. Then you also have a time that takes string, and you pass it a format that you want it to extract this string you have passed and create a local time with. So if I run this code, observe what happens. You can see it's the same here. So if I give the wrong time format, that it will not be able to extract based on this format at the time here, it will throw an exception, because the given format using the given format, it's unable to create an instance of a local time with the given string. As you can see, this is an exception as I mentioned. So you must make sure that the format you are giving it will be compatible with the string that you have actually provided. So I'm just gonna go to the bottom. So we see that we have a time instance. You can do many things with it. So here we see what we are doing. We are saying current time plus minutes plus hours. You can change them as much as you want, then it will give you the correct date. Then you can also mention that you want local time using the seconds that you have passed here. So if I run this code, observe the results, we will get the current time, which is the time specified by my laptop. Then obviously we can add minutes and hours. We added 4 minutes and 5 hours. Then we get the time after we have added that, then we get the time using this number of seconds. So if you can read the documentation for this, it says it obtains an instance of local time from a second of a day value, which is what we have provided here. So this is how you can actually create the local time object or instance. We will look at other ways to manipulate local time using the duration that the API provides us.